Welcome students, welcome to my English channel, The Unforced English 721. I am so much happy that you are cooperating me, and please let me know from where you are listening my video. And if you are enjoying the video, obviously you will subscribe my channel if you still not subscribe. And if you are new here, then I am telling you that I am running this channel, this English channel, that name is The Unforced English 721. And today I am going to explain you the poem After Blenheim, okay, by Robert Southey. So, the poem After Blenheim is also known by the name The Battle of Blenheim. Blenheim is the English name for German village, one of the German village situated on the left bank of the Danube river in Germany, okay, and it is an anti-war poem representing the horrors of war. In this poem, the poet has not glorified war. Instead, he has written about the damage in the war, how war affects thousands of civilians, and it is written by the English romantic poet Robert Southey in 1796. There are total 11 stanzas of 6 lines each, okay, and the language used by the poet is simple, though it has a strong impact upon the readers. The poem is set at the site of the Battle of Blenheim. The characters are old Caspar, a farmer, and his grandchildren, Wilhelmine and Peterkin. The children ask old Caspar about a skull one of them finds beside the rivulet. Rivulet means pond or stream. He tells them, means old Caspar tells them about the after effects of the war, how the civilians died and homes burnt. That was how the wars were fought in those times. The power mongers fought for glory and victory. The peasants fled from their burning homes, and the poor soldiers fell on the field. Every time Caspar repeats the phrases great victory and famous victory, we can comprehend the bitter irony behind it. So we have to explain line by line. Come to the poem. You have to open the book. It will help you more. Now page number 17. So the poem starts After Blenheim by Robert Southey. It was a summer evening. Old Caspar's work was done, and he before his cottage door was sitting in the sun, and by him sported on the green his little grandchild Wilhelmine. So it was a summer evening in the field around Blenheim. An old elderly farmer Caspar was sitting before his cottage door in the sun. He had finished his day's work and was enjoying the beautiful sunset. His little grandchildren Wilhelmine and Peterkin were playing on the green. The evening was calm and beautiful. That is the meaning of the first stanza. Come to the next stanza 2. She saw her brother Peterkin roll something large and round, which he beside the rivulet. Rivulet means small stream. In playing there had found. He came to ask what he had found that was so large and smooth and round. The little girl Wilhelmine saw her brother Peterkin rolling something that was large and round. While playing beside the stream, he had found the large round thing. His curiosity, Miss Peterkin's curiosity, was aroused, and he asked his grandfather about the strange object. He wanted to know what that large, round and smooth object was. Come to the third stanza. Old Caspar took it from the boy, who stood expectant by. Here expectant means expecting the reply. Who is expecting the reply? Peterkin. And then the old man shook his head, and with a natural sigh, "'Tis some poor fellow's skull," said he, "who fell in the great victory." Here Peterkin was expectant, means Peterkin was expecting reply from his grandfather to provide him with an answer. Caspar had found many such objects while ploughing the field. He replied with a natural sigh. Sigh means S-I-G-H. Sigh means deep, long breath. That object was a skull of a poor soldier who died in the battle of Blenheim. Okay. Now come to the fourth stanza. I find them in the garden, for there is many here about, and often when I go to plough, the ploughshare turns them out. Ploughshare means the cutting blade of the plough. For many thousands men, said he, were slain in that great victory. Slain means here killed. Come to the explanation. The old man said that he had found a number of skulls in the garden, as many skulls were scattered around the area. When he went to plough his field, the ploughshare often dug them out. It was because thousands of men died in the battle of Blenheim. Countless soldiers were slain in the great victory. Caspar referred to the war as a great victory, though he did not have details about why it was fought and what good came out of it. It effectively brings out the horrors of the war in an ironic perspective. Perspective means view. Next, fifth stanza. Now tell us what it was all about. Young Peterkin, he cries, and little Wilhelmine looks up with wonder-waiting eyes. Now tell us all about the war and what they fought each other for. And the explanation is like this. Young Peterkin asked his grandfather all about the battle. Even little Wilhelmine looked up with wonder-waiting eyes. They asked him to tell them about the causes and purpose of such a great war. They wanted to know what made the soldiers fight against each other. Okay, students? I hope you understand the explanation. Here the meaning of, I think I have told you all the meaning. How much we have read. Come to the next stanza, that is stanza 6. It was the English, Caspar cried, who put the French to rout. But what they fought each other for, I could not well make out. But everybody said, quoth he, quoth means said, that it was a famous victory. Caspar said that the English army defeated the French army. Okay. However, the old man did not know what they fought for. He repeated what the people generally said about the word, that it was a famous victory. Okay? Caspar is repeating the line several times. Next para, that one is stanza 7. My father lived at Blenheim then. Yon little stream hard by. Yon means near or over there. Hard by means close to. So again I am repeating, my father lived at Blenheim then. Yon little stream hard by. They burnt his dwelling to the ground, and he was forced to fly. So with his wife and child he fled, nor had he where to rest his head. Caspar spoke about the tragic consequences of the war. He spoke of the olden times when his father used to live at Blenheim near the little stream. However, he was forced to fly because his house was burnt down. He ran away with his wife and children. He had no place to take shelter. The battle took away homes of millions of civilians and left them homeless. Okay? Rout means defeated. Okay? Rout means defeated. R-O-U-T. Rout means defeated. Now come to the stanza 8. Okay? With fire and sword the country round was wasted far and wide, and many a childing mother then and newborn baby died. But things like that, must be at every famous victory. So the poet talks about the parallel damage of the battle, the unintended target, the innocent people were attacked and thousands died. The whole country was ruined. Fire set the villages on flames. Many pregnant mothers and newborn babies died. It is ironical when the old man suggested that these things were the normal consequences of the famous victory. That is the meaning. Stanza 9. They say it was a shocking sight. After the field was won, for many thousands bodies here lay rotting in the sun. But things like that, must be after a famous victory. The 9th stanza paints the pathetic image of the battlefield. People said that it was a shocking sight after the battle was won. 1,000 bodies lay dead on the field, rotting in the sun. Fields were littered with corpses. The old man again remarked that these were the normal consequences after a famous victory. Every time Caspar said this, we can note the sense of the irony in it. Okay? The same line he is telling, the famous victory, a famous victory. Come to the stanza 10. And there stanza 10, great praise the Duke of Marlborough won, and our good Prince Eugene. Why, it was a very wicked thing, said little Wilhelmine. Nah, my little girl, quoth he, it was a famous victory. England's Duke of Marlborough and Savoy's Prince Eugene were the conquering heroes of the battle. Little Wilhelmine responded shockingly at this. She naturally condemned the war to be a very wicked thing. Her grandfather weakly said that she was wrong because it was a famous victory. We can now understand how the war make the tragic consequences that it followed. The only things that mattered was the victory, and indeed it was a famous one, according to old Caspar. But Wilhelmine remarked with disgust in her tone that the word was a very wicked thing. She innocently condemned the word even though she was only a child. Her reaction was natural. Wilhelmine said this out of condemnation. Though she was only a child, she understood that war could bring nothing but destruction. Her grandfather said that 1,000 bodies lay rotting in the sun, the country was wasted far and wide, and his father was forced to fly with his wife and children. This makes the little girl innocently criticize the horror of war. But old Caspar contradicted means deny the truth what Wilhelmine had said, and repeated that it was a famous victory. Okay, but at the same time Peterkin questioned his grandfather also about the purpose of the war. Everybody praised the Duke who had won the great fight. However, Peterkin wanted to know from his grandfather what good came out of it at last. Hearing everything about the battle, even the little child could understand that the battle had brought nothing but complete destruction. But old Caspar said that he could not tell what good came out of the battle, but he knew that it was a famous victory. His defense of war is conventional and influenced by the others. He couldn't understand what is the influence of the word. Only whatever people were telling, only he copied that one. He is ignorant of the devastating effects of the war. So, he had unquestioningly accepted the loss of innocent lives as one of the normal consequences of the great and famous victory. So, next stanza, that one is stanza number 11. And everybody praised the Duke who this great fight did win. But what good came of it at last? Quoth little Peterkin. Why, that I cannot tell, said he. But it was a famous victory, which one I described right now. The Peterkin asked his grandfather a very realistic question now. Though the Duke earned privilege or award for winning the battle, he asked what good came out of it again. Caspar weakly concluded that he could not tell what good the war brought. He only knew that it was a famous victory. The same line he is telling again. So that is the poem, and I hope you students, all of you understand the explanation and what message does the poet want to convey through this poem. War represents the worst form of humanity. War can never bring peace and prosperity, isn't it? It can only bring death. The skull Peterkin finds beside the rivulet while playing on the green, as well as Caspar's finding them while ploughing, stand witness to the reality of the observation. Every great victory has returned thousands men homeless and has brought death to the countless lives. Through the poem, the poet has conveyed how the little innocent children, yet uncorrupted by the adult world, perceive means comprehend the reality of the world from their perspective, means from their view. So that is the meaning of the poem. Students, I hope it is totally comprehended. If I can explain you thoroughly, properly, if you understand totally, then like my video and share with your friends. And that's all for today. We will meet again with another most interesting lesson. Good night and thank you for watching.